Greetings everyone, my name is Sai, and after the last video I made, the top 5 worst things in Fallout 4 was just mercilessly attacked by zealous fanboys, I was left really unenthused to make this video. That said, I did kind of promise that I would do it, and I also do want to genuinely talk about the good things I think Fallout 4 did, in addition to all its failings. And that's why today, we're looking at the top 5 best things in Fallout 4. Let's go. Number 5. Power Armor. So in the past Fallout games, power armor was essentially the exact same thing as every other type of armor, but required a special perk to wear. But in Fallout 4, it acts more like a vehicle than anything else. So, let's compare and contrast, shall we? In Fallout 3 in New Vegas, you'd most likely loot power armor off of a dead Brotherhood of Steel NPC. Then you equip it through your Pip-Boy, and you are now wearing it. Whereas in Fallout 4, the first time you see it is, most likely, while helping Preston at the History Museum. And after grabbing the power core, you watch as the suit completely opens up its back end so you can climb inside it like you're Tony Stark using the Iron Man armor. And speaking of the Iron Man armor, later in the game you can upgrade it with a motherfucking jetpack, whereas power armor customization wasn't a thing in any of the previous Fallout games. Oh, and by the way, I'm of the school of thought that says the word motherfucking should always be a prefix to the word jetpack, no matter the situation or context. Anyways, you can also paint them, which, again, wasn't a thing prior to Fallout 4. It's also a shit ton tougher now, so it actually feels like it's making a big difference, and provides a new way to cope with some of the more challenging aspects of the game. Like, I could wait a few more levels until I do the side quest involving super mutants, or I could go get my power armor and try it now. And requiring fusion cores to function is a nice way of making sure you can't just use it all the time. All in all, a huge improvement over the previous game systems, and a very welcome one. Number 4. The densely packed map. So back before release, the map of Fallout 4's game world was leaked, followed by an influx of articles talking about how it was the smallest map in a Fallout game yet. But honestly, I couldn't give less of a shit about the actual square footage of a map the game has. And I invite the people that do to go play the game Fuel for the rest of their lives, which is the game with the single largest map of any non-randomly generated game ever made. And they'll find they get really swiftly bored of it, because it's a colossal map, yes, but there's absolutely nothing to do in it. And on the contrary, Fallout 4 still has a substantially sized overworld, but it's absolutely brimming with content. I mean, it's hard to walk for 2 minutes without finding something to do. And speaking of the map, I also wanted to say that I really love the idea of enemy difficulty being dictated by where you are on the map geographically, instead of everything being linked to your level like in Skyrim. I mean, fighting dragons just kind of lost something for me when I realized the game was leveling them down so that I had a decent chance to win the fight every time. So yeah, I love Fallout 4's overworld, and maybe next time, people won't be so quick to demonize developers if their overworld isn't at Just Cause standards. Although probably not. Number 3. Gun and armor customization / trash collection. So as you might know, weapon mods have technically been in every Fallout game, but New Vegas was the first game to really shine a spotlight on the idea, and even then, you could basically play through the entire game and never once realize that they were there. But Fallout 4 has not only brought gun customization to the forefront of the main features, but they've also beefed it up immensely. Now, every weapon in the game has at least 1 or 2 modifications you can make to it, and most have way more than that. And the way they've worked the junk system into this to incentivize collecting anything and everything in the overworld is absolutely genius. Although it does make the junk shit an absolute waste of time. Haha! Eat trash, you mutant piece of— oh no wait, come back, I needed that! Oh shit. But that's a minor loss, all things considered. Another unfortunate consequence of this system is that because you can easily beef up smaller weapons like the 10mm pistols and laser pistols, whereas the upgrades for the late game weapons require a bunch of points in both gun nut and science, it's a lot easier just to stick to the same weapons the entire way through the game. Oh, what's that? I have a gun that fires cannonballs now? Well, I mean, that's great and all, but, my laser pistol does like 6 times the damage, and the ammo's a lot more common, so I think I'll just put you away for now. That said, I am still admittedly at level 30, so perhaps that becomes less true as I travel farther south. Still, it's a fantastic system that I like a lot, and I really want to see the idea persist into future games in the franchise. Number 2. The Fallout aesthetic. Did you ever notice anything about the wasteland while playing either Fallout 3 or New Vegas? Like how incredibly generic the vast majority of the game overworld was? For example, look at downtown Washington in Fallout 3. Doesn't it look like every other bombed out city in every other post-apocalypse ever? My word, is that? It is a bombed out gray building! One only wonders what majesty might await for us next door! My god, another bombed out gray building! And in New Vegas, if you ignore all the robots everywhere, there's nothing particularly Fallout-esque about the city. I mean, it looks like what you would imagine Las Vegas looking like in any other post-apocalypse. But holy crap, have you guys seen how much Boston feels like it belongs in a Fallout game? I mean, everywhere you look on city streets are personal bomb shelters you have to pay to use. Pre-war advertisements and billboards are all over the place. The gas stations all have broken robotic arms that presumably pumped, I don't know, plutonium or something. Even things in previous games have been given a visual upgrade to look more in-universe. For example, the Protectrons previously just looked like what people in the 50s imagined robots would look like, but now you can actually see inside their heads and look at all the steampunk-esque contraptions that bring them to life. Everywhere you look in this game, you find evidence this isn't just Boston in a generic post-apocalypse universe. This is Boston specifically in the Fallout universe. And I think that gives the overworld a sense of personality we haven't really seen in a 3D Fallout game before. And that's why Fallout 4's Boston is my favorite overworld in a Fallout game thus far. Number 1. The gunplay. Okay, so the gunplay in Fallout 4 is such a vast improvement on anything else in the Fallout series prior to this, that it almost single-handedly forgives the vast majority of problems I have with the game. Back when Fallout 3 came out, the guns felt and sounded like shit. You remember the mods that added guns to Oblivion? It was really only a step or two above some of those. New Vegas did a slightly better job, but it wasn't a huge change from what Fallout 3 did. But now, shock, shock, surprise, surprise, the guns actually feel like guns. Everything from how they control to the sounds they make have been drastically improved. I mean, my laser pistol, which previously went pew 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 in past Fallout games, now makes it sound like God slamming his car door, and it is just wonderful. Now granted, we're still nowhere near a Crisis level of satisfying guns, but it's still just so much better than it was. Which is good, because now that the conversations suck, the FPS part of this FPS RPG is pretty much all we have left. Hey everyone, if you like this video, and I mean why wouldn't you, then go check out the sister video to this one, the top 5 worst things in Fallout 4, and maybe give the upvote button some love while you're there to make up for all the fanboy rage. I also have 3 separate 10 things you didn't know videos for Fallout, 1 for Fallout 3, and 2 for New Vegas. And of course, if you guys like what I'm doing here and want to see more videos like these in future, please do go have a look at my Patreon page. I did just change it and added some new stuff last month, and I think that it's a lot better than it was. Oh, and I happen to know that none of the Garys are following me on Facebook and Twitter. So if you don't want to be like Gary, that's totally what you should be doing. Other than that, I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.